Hello, in this video I'm going to give a quick review of Nikon ZF. If you are a Nikon shooter, you own Nikon Z6. Is Nikon ZF worth the upgrade? It depends. The biggest improvement is in autofocus. So Nikon ZF was released October 2023 and Nikon Z6 released the fall of 2018. So 5 years is a long time for technology to advance. So the biggest improvement in autofocus is in subject recognition, continuous autofocus speed, and also low light autofocus, the autofocus sensitivity. So let's talk about first subject recognition. Nikon Z6 recognize human eyes, but ZF recognize human, animals, including birds, vehicles, and airplanes. So there are a lot more objects that Nikon ZF can recognize and focus on. The next, continuous autofocus speed, is a major improvement. The Z6 continuous focus is no slouch either, but it is not as fast as Nikon ZF because the processor is 10 times faster, X-Speed 7 versus X-Speed 6. The third improvement is autofocus sensitivity. Nikon ZF can focus under -10 EV, while Nikon Z6 is -5. I think I made a mistake. Nikon ZF is -10. Nikon Z6 is not -5, it's -4. Yeah, so that's 6 stop difference from -4 to -10, which means that 2 to the 6th power is 64. You can focus, autofocus will still engage with 1/64th of amount of light. That's crazy. So if you shoot pictures under low lights, like in a dim lit bar, or people dancing, or out in the street in the night, or for example, we have some New Year gala to celebrate Lunar New Year in my town. Folks were doing Tai Chi, martial arts, dancing, all that kind of stuff. If you shoot under those low light situations of moving subjects, the ZF should have a very, very significant improvement of 6 stops. You will be able to lock focus a lot more. You will miss a lot less. Yeah, that's a major improvement. So autofocus in terms of subject recognition, in terms of continuous autofocus, and in terms of low light autofocus, this is a great improvement. Now the other improvements including image stabilization, in-body IBIS, in-body image stabilization is rated at 8 stops instead of 5. Nikon Z6 is 5 stops, 2 to the 3rd power. The 8 minus 5 is 3. That means you can shoot a still subject. Not the image stabilization does not freeze your subject, it freezes the sensor. So you can shoot, say you are shooting at 6400 ISO, you can reduce that to 800. That's a major improvement. 3 stops a lot. You can have a much cleaner image under low light when you shoot pictures handheld. Another improvement is continuous shooting speed, and now it boasts 14 frames per second under RAW instead of 10. That's a 40% improvement, and you can also shoot 30 frames per second under JPEG, and you can also activate pre-capture, which means that 1 second before you press the shutter release, the pictures are already saved to your buffer, so you do not lose the moment. You won't miss the moment. This is a major improvement, of course, under JPEG only, but that's still an improvement. Continuous shooting speed is improvement. Another area of improvement lies in the kind of flip out screen. This guy can flip out all the way out instead of tilting screen, so you can do selfie and stuff without any problems. And the video is also improved from 30 frames per second full frame to 60 frames per second. This is for 4K videos full frame. So that's another improvement, but these improvements are relatively small. I think the biggest improvement is autofocusing speed, autofocus in general, and also continuous shooting speed. This camera also has 2 card slots, one SD, one micro SD, and these cards are extremely inexpensive, and for a professional you can actually use this camera for professional work. If one card fails, you still have the backups in the other card. The probability of 2 cards failing at the same time is negligible. So this camera can be used for professional work. Another thing I would like to mention about this camera is its ergonomics. Do not be intimidated by the retro style. What are these dials? This is for ISO, this is for shutter speed, this is for exposure compensation. If you own other modern design cameras like Sony or Nikon Z6 or some other even the DSLRs, those modern style cameras do not have these 3 dials. Don't be intimidated. You can customize this camera. I put ISO and exposure compensation on this I menu. So it takes one extra step. You have to activate the I menu and then select ISO or exposure compensation, then use the rear main dial to tweak these settings. It is one extra step, but it's not a deal breaker. So if you want, you can configure, customize your camera that you do not have to use the 3 dials. You can maintain the modern ergonomics with the retro style camera. Some people complain that the camera is too heavy. I do not think it's too heavy. It is heavier than the comparable Sony compact camera, like a Sony a7C II, of course. That's a camera built for travel. This camera uses metal construction and magnesium alloy, so it's about 100 grams heavier than Nikon Z6 if you put on that small rig hand grip, which is a must-have. Without a hand grip, you don't have to use the small rig, but you need a hand grip because otherwise the ergonomics sucks. Your fingers will have no surface to rest on. So the hand grip is must-have. So that adds another 100 grams, which is 200 grams heavier than Nikon Z6. It's not a deal breaker for me. For a healthy adult, whether you're male or female, you should have no problem carrying a camera with a kind of a reasonably weight lens. No problem. I don't think the weight is a problem. If you want a travel camera, you want to travel light, you can buy another camera body. Yeah, you should probably not go full frame. If you want to travel, you'll probably stick to APS-C cameras because the lenses are the biggest source of weight. You have a 400 millimeter telephoto lens. That thing weighs like more than 3 pounds. The camera of like a 2 pounds or something, it's 1.5 pounds. Is nothing. Yeah. So that's my video about Nikon ZF. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope it will help you make a decision regarding this camera. Thank you.